continue to let that cook for about 3 or 4 minutes until the cabbage and the vegetables are cooked down a little bit, but not overly.
Okay.
So you do that, and I'm going to stir together our oyster sauce. We've got soy sauce.
Hey, welcome back to Great Taste of Manitoba, where tonight we are getting super cozy kitchen comforts with pork, of course, Manitoba pork, and Susan Reese. Welcome back. And so here we go, Prairie Pork Goulash. And so I guess maybe what we should do is start by talking about the particular cut of meat that we're using for this recipe. This warm, lovely, comforting recipe.
Right, so we're using pork shoulder cubes. As you can see, fair bit of marbling in there.
Yeah.
So pork shoulder, again, one of the primal cuts from the hog. And we're gonna use them in the stew. They need a lot of simmering time. So a stew or a goulash like what we're making today is perfect for this particular cut of meat.
Okay.
Next step that we're gonna do is we're actually gonna flour our cubes and brown them. Okay. So the way I like to do this at home, which is kind of a simpler way of doing it, is I'm going to put a few of the cubes in. Well, at this rate, we may as well just do all of them. Wipe my hands here.
Okay.
And then I put them in like a container like this with a little bit of flour. Shut it
give it the old
nice and
shakeroo.
tight, so you don't have a dust up like I did at home. Shake them up.
I mean, you could do this in a Ziploc bag as well, but this is
This is fun.
Yeah.
Gets
She's
your
having a blast.
frustrations of the day out.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then you'd end up with floured cubes like this. Obviously, these ones are a little bit too much on, so you just like shake off the excess there.
Knock a bit off, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you end up with the floured cubes. And then we go to browning them.
And this is kind of an integral, like one of the things that I maybe wouldn't have thought of is that you have to do these in batches, you were saying.
Yeah, you do it in batches because otherwise your meat is going to end up steaming. All that moisture is going to come out of the meat, and yeah, then you end up don't getting the nice brown sear on it. It just ends up being, I don't know, a steam bath of pork cubes.
And again, it looks so much nicer in your final product, right?
Yes.
You've got that little bit of brown on the
Absolutely.
on the meat.
And it's also going to provide like a richness to the stew or to the goulash. You know, enhance the taste again, just like we talked about with the leg strip. So.
And then the other thing you mentioned about the flouring part of it is that once it goes into our pot, it's going to help to kind of thicken, make like almost like a gravy, right?
Yeah, it's going to help thicken, so you don't have to thicken at the end, which is awesome. And also, the flour provides that little bit of crisp coating on the outside, which is like totally yummy.
It's never bad.
Yeah.
Never.
So we'll just let those continue doing their thing.
Okay.
So we have a pot here of cubes that we've already browned. As you can see, like things are starting to, you know, stick to the bottom a little bit, which is perfectly fine because we're going to end up deglazing with some liquid after, so it's all going to come off.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to get you to do is add some onion and garlic.
Okay. Peak of the market onion. Always
add the whole thing in.
Yeah, I didn't even ask. I just went
just pour.
And the garlic, even if you said stop, I wouldn't.
No.
Just,
Can't have enough garlic in a goulash, right?
Agreed.
Kind of go together.
Totally.
So you would just cook this for a few minutes, just until the onion and the garlic become a little flavorful and cook down a little bit. And even the juice from the onion is going to start to loosen up the crispy stuff on the bottom.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So let's just assume that that's what's happened here for the last,
speed things up.
Couple of minutes. And so you stir. Sure. I'm going to add in some low-sodium chicken broth, or beef broth,
Broth, yeah.
You could use chicken broth too. I just find that the beef broth gives it a little bit more flavor.
Okay.
And then I've got a mixture here of mostly red wine and
mostly.
a little bit of red wine vinegar. We'll put that in as well.
That's to make up for the little bit that you drank off the top, Susan? Oh, sorry.
So add that in. Then we're going to put in some tomato paste.
Oh, here, I'll let you know.
Yep, we'll tag team this.
Okay.
Tomato paste, put that in there.
Okay.
Stir that up. And the paprika. Every good goulash has Hungarian paprika in it.
Is that a
Dump
lot
that
of
all
paprika?
in.
Okay.
It's not spicy. It's not hot paprika. It's the mild one, so it's fine.
Well, and this is kind of cool. The cool thing about goulash is that it seems like every family kind of has a different version of this dish. You
exactly.
know? All of this?
Yeah, caraway
seed. This is caraway?
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
Then toss in that bay leaf.
Yep.
And then from here, we would cover this and let it simmer for about an hour and a half, just until the cubes are nice and tender.
Okay.
Obviously, you can try it. and then season with salt and pepper according to taste.
To how you like it.
Right.
Okay.
So here we have our finished goulash. This is what it looks like after an hour and a half, right? So look at everything's just like blended nicely together. It smells really good. Here's my little thing that I like to do, which really makes this comforting and satisfying and a little bit not over the top, but just yummy.
Super nice. Yeah.
Is adding in some full fat sour cream.
Once in a while, good to have it. And it's the only thing, right?
Everything in moderation.
Totally. And then a great way to serve this, of course, would be over like egg noodles. Of course, we have the most beautiful handmade in Winkler, Manitoba, made in Manitoba, ready-made noodles. So this is just one example, but a local product that you can enjoy. And then boom, you've got your Prairie Pork Goulash. I'm going back in time. You can add that on top of those noodles. It's going to be awesome. Bacon love brownies. What? When we come back on Great Taste of Manitoba.